Ready, set, go.
Hello. Welcome to the Beginner's Guide. As the next short series that I'm going to be doing. I don't know much about it, save for it seemed like sort of more of a walking simulator deal, similar vein as as the Stanley Parable. Kind of artsy fartsy, which I could use some artsy farts after, every now and then. So let's begin the game. Really, other than that, I don't really know what this is all about. I don't even know what it's the beginner's guide to. Please make sure audio is on. No, I wanted to make sure that I couldn't hear anything in this game. Controls, WASD, and click. Great. Thank you.
Hi there.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Hi.
playing the beginner's guide.
Hang on. I'm gonna get subtitles going on. Full captions.
My name is
Continue.
Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable.
Okay.
And while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named
Where are
Coda.
the subtitles?
Now, these games
Coda.
mean a lot to me.
Okay.
I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff. And
Right.
his work
I was
pointed me
13
in a
at the
very
time.
powerful direction. I found it to be a good
Wait.
reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off,
was
this
14.
is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Oh,
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk
hang on. Why are there not full captions on? What's going on? All right.
around here, by the way. And mostly it's just
Okay.
Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I
Okay.
like is that even though he
Alright.
starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course,
Yeah,
it
I see
destroys
that.
the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes
can't
a
run.
kind of
Okay.
calling card from its creator.
But I
It's like
can
a reminder
jump.
that this video game was constructed by a real person.
Interesting.
And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was
What?
building this? This is what I
Yeah,
like
what
about
was
all of
going through
Coda's
his head?
games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to
Right.
give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know
Right.
who this human being really is. And that's exactly
Right.
what we're going to do here.
Okay.
So,
All
it's
right.
2008. Coda starts making these
2008.
games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet. He just makes them
I'm
and then
12 years old.
immediately abandons them, and they sit on
Oh.
his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, yeah, this is
Nice.
just how
Okay.
he worked. He tended to crank them out one
Yeah,
after the other
I
without
hear
even
ya.
really pausing to try to understand what he had just made. Until
Sure.
suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one
2011, eh?
since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his
Okay.
games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection
Okay.
to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start
Sure.
creating again. And if
Yeah,
the people
where
like
am I
you who
supposed to
play this
go?
also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks
Sure.
for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I
Okay.
haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch,
Yeah.
you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about
Okay.
it for introduction.
All right.
Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is
Okay.
loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was
Where are
made
my
in
subtitles?
November 2008.
Okay. Look, maybe the subtitles will start now that we've started a new chapter. Oh, Jesus. Whisper machine status. Okay.
This game
Am I
is
supposed
called
to start
Escape
shooting?
from Whisper.
Oh, there it
It's one
is.
of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay. All right. So far, neat. We got ourselves some shooting, maybe. Can't go
You
through
can
there.
click to fire the gun.
Yeah, I figured. Thank you. Okay. Whisper machine. Status active. Alright, what am I shooting, though? What am I shooting? Hello? What?
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Okay. Oh. What's coming
It
in?
kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance,
It
you have this
does,
gun,
yeah.
which you'd think would indicate
Yeah.
that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no
Yeah.
enemies anywhere. You can't even
Yeah.
reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But
Oh,
ultimately,
well, that
we
is a
don't
shame.
really
I
know.
won't
Maybe Coda
shoot
thought
anything
that actually
then.
it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should
Right.
talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay. I think we might be idolizing this guy a little bit more than he needs to. Nothing
I love how you can see
against
the
Coda.
universe from this room.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay. I'm not saying that Coda isn't a talented developer. He probably very much is. I'm just saying that people have reasons for stopping making things. It's not necessarily because they stop believing in themselves. It's just because they
Apparently,
maybe
the space
maybe
station has a labyrinth on it.
I see that.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
What? Why? I want to. Okay, fine. All right. I kind of wanted to be able to figure
Okay,
figure
this
out
is
the
the part that's
the
interesting.
labyrinth.
The game has
Is
this
it?
narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off,
Yes.
and then you get to the engine room.
Right. Okay.
Hey,
Is this the
you
whisper
there,
machine?
In the engine room. You could save us all.
Hi.
That beam
I could.
is powering the whisper
Okay.
machine. We could disrupt it by
Right.
introducing a great enough heat signature. If you
Great enough heat signature.
Your body could stop the beam.
Whoa.
But for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Damn. Coda, is Coda okay? Yeah, yes, I gotta do it.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just
Sure.
experienced,
Yeah.
stepping into the beam
Yes.
and then dying, is probably
Yes.
what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first
Okay,
compiles
sure.
and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this
Okay.
is what happens instead.
Right. Oh, so we just lie here instead. Oh, wait, oh. What happens instead? Oh. Oh. Ah, like what happens in the Stanley Parable.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important
Interesting.
moment for him. Because yes, this is
Yes.
technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system.
Right.
Or this floating
Yeah.
could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't
Right.
even know. I have no
Okay,
idea what he
but-
was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
Tiny little games,
Let's go ahead
eh?
and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. I feel like we might be reading not too much in the past was behind her. Okay, cool. I feel like we might be reading too much. Wait, hang on.
Yep.
Am I not?
In this game, you can only walk backwards.
What? The past was behind her. Oh, jeez. Oh, I don't much care for this. I don't much care for that. I don't like that one bit. Like it's an.
So it's
oh,
a short
but
and
he-
relatively minimalist
but the future could
experiment
not be
combining
seen.
motion and narrative. It is less advanced than
Okay,
the previous
yeah.
game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
Yeah,
It was
This
trying to
is
give
a
it
more
unique voice
cohesive.
rather than simply basing it on a
Yeah.
pre-existing trope.
Yeah. There's something here. There's not much here, but there is something here. Okay. Why does the future keep changing? Because the future is not actually anything. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Well, yeah, that's usually how that works. Okay, so then we just face straight backwards and head up the stairs. But the future is always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront
it's a short
it?
little thought. It says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more.
Okay.
Which to me
I like
is why
that.
it works, because it gets
Yeah.
out quick. Okay.
Yeah, in and
next
out,
one.
makes a point. I like it. I like that one. That one was pretty cool. Okay, this looks this one kind of looks spooky. You are now entering the Twilight Zone. What am I entering? What am I entering?
And that's it.
Whoop.
Okay, the meaning
What?
of this game won't be clear just yet.
What?
Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. Okay, December
Oftentimes,
2008.
Coda would put
Nonsense
bizarre
in
titles like this
nearly
one
every
at the start of his
direction.
games.
Right. Okay. All right. This
I
is
wish I'd known him
something.
at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped working
Sure.
on the game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree
Yeah.
with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
No. I mean, it's his relationship with his own art. You know, I don't.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute
oh,
crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So
I
why,
see.
if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you,
It's
I'm
for
modifying
himself.
the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for
Okay.
yourself.
Okay, sure. Thank you for for doing that. But also, I feel like I'm violating something. I feel like I know. Okay. You walk around talking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams. Play as a pair of floating eyes emitting footstep noises. The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's happening. A
room
series
that's
of lavish manuals.
Nice and filled with little ideas for games.
You are the queen dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is
Coda would often
destroyed.
tell me that he didn't
Button you
mind
press
if
to
people
stop
thought
chaos
of him
that
as
doesn't
cold
work.
or distant. He said that he knew that
Press
he was
U to
actually
surrender.
a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see
Right.
that. It can
Yeah,
be a very
yeah,
slow
that makes
climb to
sense.
get there.
It sure can. Yeah, sometimes people just have a certain amount of time that you need to know them for them to open up to you. Live on a boat. Captain is always wrong. Cool. All right. Ready, set, fish. I like this so far. I want to be able to like give my thoughts more often, but this guy keeps talking, and I think he might be. I think the fact that he's talking so much and reading so much into these games might be part of the arc of the game, because I would still say it feels like we are still at the beginning
Well, this is new
of the
for
story.
Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see
Yeah.
if you can solve it.
Okay. Is that a puzzle? Does that count as a puzzle? I've played Superliminal. I know a hidden hallway when I see one. Okay, so Okay. All right. This is in fact a puzzle. It's something for me to figure out. All right. So now what? Does that do anything for me? Not really. Okay. So then what about that? Is there a hidden lever here? No. No. Okay. No, nothing here. Okay. Can I close this door from inside? Does that do anything? Not really, it doesn't seem like it. Okay. Can I,
Don't
if I
forget
open it
that
from
solution,
here?
'cause we're going to see this puzzle
Aha!
again soon.
Aha! We are? Okay. We're gonna see it a lot. Okay. Alright, understood. Understood. 3 dots on the wall. That's probably gonna mean something. Probably gonna mean something. But okay. What do we...
So that seems
where
to
are we
be it,
going
right?
from here?
You
Oh,
walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
now
simple
I'm going
enough.
to modify the game again, so that when you press enter,
Okay,
it will
why?
remove all
Okay.
of the walls from this room.
Okay. Whoa! What? What?
How about that?
Why?
There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I
Yeah.
actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the
Yeah.
opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level,
Right.
a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way,
Right.
I think that
Yes.
the point is the same. Is that most of the time you don't
Okay.
get to know what you're missing, or even that
Yeah.
you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
Exactly.
If your role
Yeah.
here is not to understand, then what is it?
But it's also the fact that, like, games and art in general is not made in a vacuum. Oh, we're back here. So, like, these are choices being made, but in that particular case, you are now exiting. Nice.
Aha.
Nice.
This, combined with the entering game from earlier,
Cool.
tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that
Well,
the Stairs game
it's not
and the
that
puzzle
he
game
believes them,
are
it's that he
literally
is
connected
connecting
in
them.
between this and the entering game. There's a bigger
Sure.
picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in. There's some larger meaning
Okay.
we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we
Okay.
can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Right. Yeah, we're looking at the entire collective works of an artist. The great and lovely desert. Okay. Ooh, I like this. I like this. I like the building. I like the
Let's talk
the,
about video
the
game
white
development for a
void.
second. Every video game runs
Okay.
on what's called an engine, which determines what
Yes,
the game can
I
and
know that.
cannot do. So in other words,
Right.
the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Streetwise Fool. Right.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all
Okay,
engines,
cool.
Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things
Right.
that it does very well
Ooh.
is boxy linear corridors. That's why
Okay.
so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because
I love
he's
me
working
some
with
large,
what
flat,
the
empty
engine does
rooms.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good thing to
The
know
tools
how to
available
do.
to the creator shape what
Ooh,
kinds
boy.
of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's
Oh, boy.
games.
Oh, boy.
Notice
Oh,
how
boy.
they seem to
Okay,
stem
we're
from
fine.
an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Sure. Oh boy. Okay. Can you go down this side? Okay. Oh boy, I am nervous now. Oh boy. The closest thing that you can get in a video game to vertigo. Jeez. All right, I guess I'm just falling to the bottom here. For a second there, I think I was even slightly worried that I was gonna take fall damage, but this doesn't seem like that kind of game. So, okay. What do we got here? Just a floor light? Okay. This is neat. This is nice. Corridors. This has a little bit of like... This has like church sanctuary vibes to it. Hello? I don't like that closed. Hello? Ooh, okay. A little bit spooky, if I do say so myself. This is a little... There's some unsettling energy to this, I'm gonna say. I gotta say, some unsettling...
Funny enough, in
What?
Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
A full
If you
hour.
don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, no, thank you for
This is
that.
something that he and I used to argue about a lot.
Like, there's...
You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything
I feel
before
that.
I can get through it. And I
Yeah.
always defend that, all this work goes into the game, why not make
Yeah.
it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was
I
full
see.
of
He's
hundreds
petty
of
like that.
individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in
Okay.
and nothing else.
All right, Coda.
Every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There
No,
wasn't.
that was the gag. No. Okay, so Coda's a little bit pretentious. That strikes me. And like, don't get me wrong. As I said at the start of this, I love me some artsy-fartsy shit. I absolutely believe in the integrity of like artistic intent and vision. And, being able to kind of break convention.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Okay. Sure. There we go. And then
There's still no
do
clear
that.
indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise
Yeah.
I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay, I believe you. I believe very much in like being able to make the choice to like play with convention at the expense of comfort, right? At the expense of like immediately knowing what to do, right? But also, I want to be able to finish a game. And if you haven't earned a player's willingness to sit and play your game for an hour, like these little mini games are cool, and I'm one of the. If anyone's gonna defend short little artsy fartsy games, it's gonna be me. But just because you're making short artsy fartsy games and that's your artistic intent does not earn you the right to have a player sit in a jail cell for an hour. Like, that seems unreasonable to put someone through if they don't know that it's worth it. Hello. You there, did you come from up above? What was up there?
System that he fashioned out of the
Okay.
engine's chat
Oh.
capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3
Okay.
buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Okay, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Okay. That's the world above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Yeah. Again, perfect. Now, please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. How to get to the other side? Trust me, you don't want to go over there. You don't really need to. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to tell you there, man. There's not much for you. Oh, hello. Okay, so we're back here. More conversation? Sure. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yeah, do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would I care about the space between the doors? What makes that interesting? There is a reason, but it may take time before you understand, which is fine. You will see it again soon. Okay. Space between the doors. I know what space he was referring to, the black misty space. And I definitely investigated it. I didn't see anything
And so
there.
we
Like,
make
it's not
one
like I
last
wasn't
descent
interested.
Down to the final floor of the level.
Right. Okay. Interesting. This reminds me actually quite a bit of the game called, was it Mako?
It's
I
a
think.
lamppost. Okay,
It is a
I can't tell you
lamppost.
quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to
Sure,
appear at
maybe
the
he's-
end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think. I
Okay.
think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose.
Yeah.
And maybe you can
Which is
only
fine.
float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he
Sure.
wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point.
Okay.
He wants the work to
Right.
be leading to something. He wants
Sure.
a destination. Which is what
Yes.
this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're
Right,
gonna
but
see it
what
in
is...
work as well. His games are just going to become a lot
Okay.
more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear
Okay.
idea behind them. And as
Okay.
we go,
All
that
right.
idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Love it. Oh. April 2009. Interesting. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Oh, like a Souls game. All notes you see are left by other players. Okay. Neat. I like that. I like that for me. Hello? Nice room. Not. Did someone actually leave that? Did someone actually leave that? That just
So
sounds
first
like
off, I'm sure you can
someone-
deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that
Yeah.
you're going to see have been written by
Yeah.
Coda. This was actually
Yeah.
the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly
Right,
after I
okay.
met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like,
Well, sure.
I have
Yeah.
to be friends with this person.
Sure.
In
Oh wow,
retrospect,
that's a
I
lot
think
of
I was
thoughts.
probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over enthusiastic, but he was very
Sure.
gracious about it.
That can
and
happen.
Very patient with me, and
That's fair.
pulled off eventually.
Nice. Hello.
Feel free
Reasonable.
to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way,
Maybe I want
to
to
me,
just
they convey
read
a sense
them.
of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
What do you mean it wasn't meant to be played? He made it for a jam. How is there wooden grass and
But it's
concrete here?
ironic,
What the
isn't
fuck?
it, that in playing this game and seeing how
Okay.
alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better.
Yeah.
And have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
Yeah.
This is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
But this doesn't feel like... This doesn't feel like someone creating a world about themselves. This feels like someone creating like a populated world. Like maybe it's written all by one person, but it's made to feel like more than one person is involved. Right? Like it's nice that he's able to like, I can assure you guaranteed that there is an acorn somewhere in this place in the sailors. Okay. But like in the same way that that an author can, you know, create a whole world and like lore and like world building and all that and have that populated by characters and different voices. The fact that they've done that does not, to me, immediately communicate loneliness. It just means that, like, they wanted to imagine this sort of social world, or this world that's been imprinted on by a variety of people. Next game includes door, cannot open door. Thanks. Yeah, like, I don't get the idea of loneliness. I get the idea of someone, because especially in these sort of like story-based sort of walking simulator artsy-fartsy games, new room, they can be a rather lonely experience, you know? They can be a very lonely experience. And this actually feels quite a bit less lonely. I don't feel lonely. I feel like I'm just kind of in a space full of other voices. And whether I'm lonely in it or not is entirely up to me, I think. I think a lot of these interpretations, as is anyone's interpretation of an art piece. What is that painting? I don't know, but I like it. Anyone's interpretation of a piece of art that is as abstract as these games have been, there's a little reflection of yourself in there. You're not speaking objectively about a piece of art. You are speaking from a piece of yourself onto a piece of someone else. And it very much seems like the narrator kind of has their own internalized idea of Coda that probably only has so much overlap with Coda themselves. Whoever made this has issues. I don't think so. Again, I think that's a projection. And also, why would we say that this wasn't meant to be? Okay, that's interesting. Stop pretending you are other people. That's an interesting note. Because that was written by Coda. And all these notes are, Coda trying to be other people. And we have this one moment of like self-awareness and self-criticism. That's interesting. But the fact that didn't he just say that this was made for a Sacramento game jam? So to say that this was not made for people to see doesn't feel. Devil Tower Star. What does that mean? I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. Interesting. What was that one? Devil Tower Star. There was another one that I saw that it's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a little bit. Maybe that note being left there. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Maybe there is a little bit of self-loathing going on here. Maybe there is a little bit of loneliness. We're all here now. Maybe there is a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of self-loathing, a little overabundance of self-awareness going on here.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Right. Oh, the whisper machine is running. Someone turn off the whisper machine. Who turned the whisper machine back on?
After exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Does this puzzle have a solution? It sure does. What the frick do I do? Help? Help? This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how do you solve it? Developer, answer please. Okay, I'm gonna solve it in a moment here. Just a second. Alright. Is this gonna be any
Because
different?
there's
Is
this
that why?
area between the doors, a space between
Yeah.
spaces. Before
Yeah.
you move on, you get to pause.
Yeah.
Just for a moment. A few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that
Okay.
elusive bigger picture.
That's not really what I get from this. It's not big enough for that to have that kind of effect on me. Like, to me, it's just like a weird room with some fog in it. Right? Okay. Like, especially since if it's the same solution. Come on. Come on. What? There we go. If it's the same solution, which so far it's been, there we go. There we go. And the one person that made it also being Coda. Whoa. How do you leave notes? Oh boy. Oh boy. Is this 100 monkeys at typewriters situation? 100 monkeys at typewriters situation? Oh boy, are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty speaking? Jeez. Okay, that's overwhelming. Yeah, I disagree with that interpretation.
Okay, this one is tough.
Star Sky
Kind of
Team.
just spin
Okay.
its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. All right. I'm one to let things spin its wheels for a second. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Hallways. Nice. I like the aesthetic. Nice. This is a cool look. Yeah, I really hope that this game isn't trying to communicate.
See, this is it. The whole game.
like-
and there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except for some
Okay.
reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why.
Sure.
but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's going to start over,
Okay.
use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2. Okay. Okay, less... Alright, no furniture. Interesting. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? In the center of the room, a TV with surround sound. How about a TV with surround sound? Okay, what about along the wall of the room? Well, that's where I would put a TV, but I'll put a huge picture of a horse. Can we get a huge picture of a horse? No, we get some couches. Okay. I think we should light up this room a bit. Skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. 5 Tesla coils in each corner. I'll go with the soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. I like that idea. I think that would sound quite nice. Nope, we get a corner lamp. All right, and a table. You need a table. I do need a table. I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Yeah, no, they sure aren't. Oh, hello. Oh boy, okay. Oh boy, okay.
But still, it's not really communicating
Yeah.
anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
I mean,
So okay,
the
he
cool.
throws it out and starts
I don't
over.
know.
This time he comes at the prison.
I think
idea
there
from
was
a
something
different
there.
direction.
Okay. I think there was something there. I think... Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape your prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Click on this table. Oh, okay, good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Okay. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Okay. All right, easy. And then off. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little. Left side sofa. Nice. Finally touch the shelves. Are these the shelves? That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. In a real prison, the escape will now open? What do you mean in a real prison? This one I actually have a harder time understanding than the previous version. The previous version, I felt like I could parse together some kind of meaning.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the
Table
chain
is
of
gone.
events to escape.
Right.
Here's a version where
Interesting.
there are no bars, but
Okay.
you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
Okay. All right.
Let me
Yeah, I
just
see
blink
it.
real quick through a
Yep.
few more of these. I mean, he really
Yep.
unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen.
Yeah. Variations.
Personally,
Variations
it's
on a
awful to
theme.
watch this, to see a person basically
What do you mean?
unraveling through their work. And for what? Like,
I
at
don't
what
know
point
if
do you
that's
just
what this
go,
is.
Maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on. But
Well, perhaps,
doesn't
yeah.
have that voice telling you to stop. That particular
Okay.
mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he
And
keeps
is that what he
going
was
and going
doing?
and going and going and going.
This guy's
And he
reading
hits on
into a lot of these creative
likes it.
choices that I
And that's
just...
it. He's done. He stops
Good.
making prisons.
There
This
you
is
go.
the very
That's
last
sometimes
version
for
of the prison
process.
game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Cool. So, before I get moving, I have some problems with this narrator. I think he's projecting a lot of shit onto Coda. I think Coda just maybe has a creative process that he doesn't actually understand, and so he's trying to, like, piece together why Coda would do the things that he does while making games, and also how he sort of Coda's relationship to his games. And he's making a lot of assumptions. If you ask me, he's making a lot of assumptions as to what's going on in Coda's brain that might not actually be the case. So we're gonna go into the phone booth and see where it goes from here. Who are we calling? Hello? Who is this? It's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison, I guess. You're me? Apparently. So you were trapped in this prison too? I guess so.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows.
Maybe.
But the irony is that even
Maybe.
in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know,
Right.
all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Again, I don't know about that, because if any of these got published, then you're not speaking just to yourself. That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What it's like to escape. Still, it feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Sure, we'll go for that one. Do you feel any different? Not really. Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. Nah, I'm really the same person now as I was back then, which isn't the worst thing. Oh no, that's awful. Not necessarily. That's the worst thing you can imagine. It's, don't worry, it's actually not a bad thing. I promise. Yeah. I think I'm fine. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Which means that I am now... Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? Oh, to get out you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. Just talk with me for a bit. Don't need to be 100% sincere. That will free me? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Okay, I can talk. Yeah, let's have a conversation. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I will be here for as long as you need.
I can see
Nice.
why
I like
he
that
considers
ending.
this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And to have that person be yourself.
So what
I
would
think
it
is
look
also
like if Coda wanted to
the
make
thing.
a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Okay. We're gonna find out in the next episode. Welcome back to the Beginner's Guide. We're, I guess, in a game where Coda is trying to have a conversation with someone else. Or at least that's the narrator's angle on this.
To me, this
which,
environment is meant to represent
Okay.
Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Sure. Oh, we got a spilled glass. That's interesting. That's a choice. Oh, hello. Clean. Oh my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you... Oh goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. And right miserable that would have
You'll
been.
notice that the quality of the art is a step
Okay,
up from
alright.
previous games,
It
including
is.
this new and improved chat system, which he started using from
Right.
this point on. From here
Yeah.
on out, he begins putting much more effort
Okay.
into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
2 months. Even for a game, that's still pretty short. Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. This is a nice place. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can do that. Clean the table. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Sure. Do I have the ability to run? No, I can just walk. So I cannot run into the bedroom and make the bed, but I can walk into the bedroom and make the bed. I'm assuming this is the bed in question. Great. Straight. All the little details matter. Straighten out the rug. Nice. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel a kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out here? Absolutely, I can do that. Absolutely, I can do that. Arrange the pillows. Oh dear, it looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there? Yeah, I was gonna do that. I was gonna ask about that. Nice. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy, please. Make it particularly cheesy. Please and thank you. No! What do you mean no? No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? But, you know, I wanted to hear the sentimental thing. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? No need to be perfect. We're all just human. That's true. That's a very good way of putting it. Scrub the tub. Nice, that looks good. Okay, are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Yeah, sure thing, character that I've given basically the voice of Goofy. All done. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
Cleaning level almost feels like
Wait.
cleansing. It's the moment after a
Where did those come from?
difficult or traumatic experience where you just
But-
need to let it sit
I'm sorry.
and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Well, you say that, but now I'm bothered by the fact that I'm pretty sure I just cleared the table. Did I not just clear the table like a few minutes ago? Did I not just do that? I'm pretty sure I just did that. Do these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, yeah, you have absolutely got to own it. Otherwise, it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to future you?
This game.
Present.
Of all
Okay.
his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and meet
Aww.
him. This was
Aww.
during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just
That's good.
walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Sure, yeah. Sometimes you're just more fulfilled in your work than other times. And that's okay. Present you wants to smooth out the rug in the bedroom, believe it or not. Trust me on this one. I'm pretty sure I already did that without even being asked. I'm pretty sure I did that. Straighten out the rug. Bed is still made. Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Yeah, I can do that. I did it before. I can do it again. Alright, what else? Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was gonna say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself, both mentally and physically. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Yeah, can do. Can do, no problem. If the work just never ends, then I'm happy to just keep it going. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess. I am also glad he found peace. Would you go over and straighten them up a bit? Can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. Okay, yeah, done. What else? Question.
But, of course,
Do you
can't
enjoy
last.
this?
The
Oh.
music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave.
Oh.
The door at the top
Is
of
it?
the hill is now open as well. Again,
Okay.
you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You
This
have
doesn't-
to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
This doesn't feel like the dark space, though. This, in no way, feels like the dark space. This feels like its own unique space unto itself. Like, I don't know, and this is also, me projecting my own interpretation from my own biases and experiences and feelings onto the game, but I'm having a hard time really reading into what that dark space earlier in the
Which
game
is
was
the whole
meant to
point
be.
of the puzzle
But
doors,
here we
right?
are.
That sooner or later you have to pick up and move.
Okay,
I really thought that was the point of it.
but you were wrong, weren't you? September 2009.
This one
Items you
gets a
love at
bit
members-only prices. Okay, alright. I can handle some goof. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No! You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it. But how do we do it effortlessly?
About
This is
halfway
easy.
through
It
the
is
game,
so
the
easy. It
perspective
is so
shifts.
easy. Being perfect is effortless. Oh, geez. Okay. Geez. This is the key. How do I achieve
As the
it?
teacher.
With no.
Suddenly,
Right.
you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
Interesting.
Oh, and also you can move around the
Interesting.
classroom now.
I sure can. I see there's a big old black hole there. Lovely little Eye of Sauron. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? Well, let me tell you right now. If it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. If you are torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. That is, there's something to that, actually. I'm developing a cyst, gross. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? There is no truth, there is no path. Holy shit, you guys, something is coming out of the back of the room. Please look out. Please look out. Nothing. No one.
I fell pretty hard for this one.
I wonder how far this goes.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences
Okay.
that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Yeah. I hear ya.
Think about this
I
game
hear
a lot
ya.
these days.
That's fair. That's fair. I get it. I like that. All right. 2010.
This one took a lot longer than all the
Stage.
others for Coda to
Ooh.
make. It was 4 months between
Okay.
this and the last one. That's twice
Okay,
as long as
again.
it took him to make any other game before this. And it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Well, maybe not terribly complex on the surface. Maybe there's a lot more thought behind it. Okay, stage time. Time to perform. Are we perform? Oh, Jesus. Hello? All right, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. All right, I can lean against a wall. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Okay. All right. Hello. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a No, it's a start of the conversation. You need to actually converse with her to be a human being. Do it again. I was good at... all right. I like you. I like you. I like what you do. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Okay. All right. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? Seems pretty easy. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. It's not. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay. Okay. Like towards the lamppost here. A little bit further. A little bit further. How far back? Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. All right. What about that then? What about that then? I'm not sure I much cared for this one. I don't know if I really cared for this one. Okay, yes. Now this is working. This is what it was like.
What's going to happen next in Coda's life? The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps
Right.
backing away from possible connections to anyone other than
Yeah.
himself. And to be honest,
Right.
I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just
I don't get
disconnecting
that.
yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. 'Cause
Right.
I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect.
And I
with
still
this
feel like
person,
that's the case.
To bring him closer.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
felt
what can
like
you do?
I didn't think that.
After
yeah.
this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Okay, 5 months. He's taking his time now. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay, I'm gonna do that, but I'm first gonna give my thoughts on that last game. I didn't get the sense that he was trying to justify what he was doing. I think it was just a mode of expression. I think Coda's just very, very honestly telling the story of how he's gone about things. I don't think it doesn't feel like he's sugarcoating or justifying anything. I think he's being really, really honest in saying, this is what happened, and this is how I dealt with it, and it doesn't actually seem like that was probably the right choice. Like that whole sequence of all of the gates falling down felt very grim and depressing. I think that was probably what he was trying to communicate, but those are my thoughts. Mobius strip, I'm going to close my eyes. Okay. I'm closing my eyes. Am I actually supposed to close my eyes? I'm walking forward. Oh. Oh. Okay.
You should probably
Oh.
open your eyes if you haven't already.
Okay.
It's pretty much impossible to
Jeez.
solve otherwise. And there is
Okay.
a solution, by the way.
Okay. My vision suddenly went black. Okay. Help! I'm blind. Wait. Oh, I see what's happening. Please, someone talk to me. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's, Alright, I'm gonna be real quick about this. I go up here. I go over here. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off,
draining
he's
me.
never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that
Yeah.
coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's
Can't
having
figure
trouble
out how to say
iterating
the
on
thing.
ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person,
Yeah.
he was being a
Yeah.
lot more distant than usual. Like, you know
Yeah.
how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that
I'm
you say in
stuck
order to
in
keep
it.
themselves disconnected all the time. It was that kind of thing.
Here was the
Right.
point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
And he might
His
have.
games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's
Ooh.
almost 6 months
Desperate or
before
disparate?
he finishes something
That's
new.
disparate. That's disparate with an I, not an E. Okay. Oh. Hello? Oh. Ooh, pretty. Pretty. Oh, what is this? Hello, is anyone here? Oh. It's a little bit like the unfinished swan going on here. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. Who's there? What's wrong? You look lost. It's because I am. I have nothing left to give to my work. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. I like that explanation. I actually really do. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. Okay. What? Oh, there we go.
If the last game
I can
featured
take you
Coda
to it, but
talking
there's a problem.
explicitly
It's
about
guarded by
his
a
creative
difficult
frustrations, this one turns it up to 11.
Yeah.
Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work
Yeah.
is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression,
Mm-hmm.
even. And yet still, he
Maybe.
keeps making games. He keeps
Yeah.
throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why?
Well, he has
What is
the
it
energy for something about it. Deal. Yeah, deal. Because clearly he's got the energy to communicate something. Clearly he's got the energy to communicate something. He's just trying to figure out what it is.
Because from my perspective at the time and,
Come on,
and
oh,
just
sure.
what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own
Perhaps.
little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet. And so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no
Other than the
outlet to
person
ground
talking.
himself on.
Right. But even then. Okay. I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to open the door. Yep. Okay, now what? Now you press the switch on the inside. I don't see any switch here. Right, okay, so in that case, close the first door. There we go. There we go. All right, what next? Now, just press the switch here. Yeah, that usually does it. That was so
You
simple.
can't talk yourself
I can't believe I
out
never
of
solved it
loneliness.
before this.
It doesn't
No,
work
you're
that
right.
way. You can't
I agree
be
with
the
you
one
there.
writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no
Right.
circulation.
Ooh.
If all of your
Hello.
anxieties are being
like
channeled
this.
into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have
Yeah.
no backup and you're just going to crash.
These are just some words on some walls. Ooh, I don't like the breathing. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous, and that you love it 100% of the time. Okay, making games is simple. I get it, that's a weird thing to say to someone. That feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. It was not true. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. Oh boy. Okay.
Seeing this game at the
That's
time
wonderful.
that he
Keep
made it
going.
looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like
But you're
video games
But
are
you're
not
seeing-
worth
right.
this amount of suffering.
perhaps not, but I think this is looking at the suffering in the rear view mirror though. Like you have to think about all of these in order to make something about it. You have to like have processed all of these things in order to actually make something of it, especially making a game which has so much like background work that you really have to be thinking about what you're trying to say and be confident in what you're saying to actually make it anything. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Right. Perfect.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to
Mm-hmm.
get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the
Mm.
worst thing for me.
But you kind of have to, like, people are going to go through this shit. you get burnt out as an artist, and you gotta like process your way through it. And it feels like these games are his way of doing that, which I think is a certain amount of healthy. None of this is helping. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. It always pays off eventually. Yes, more. Keep
This is what I
going.
felt at the time. I don't know
That's
how
fair.
else to explain it.
Yeah.
I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never
Yeah,
felt so
it
rotten.
feels bad.
I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Right. Yeah, you're experiencing it as someone experiencing your friend's suffering. I'm experiencing it as an artist expressing their suffering in a safe way, I think. There's no shame, no fear, no guilt. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After
No.
finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Okay. Maybe he's just maybe they're just putting in more work. May 2011. The Machine. Ah. Okay. I'm really interested to see where this is going. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Of course it does. Of course it does. Of course it does. Hi. Hi, guys. Hello. Just gonna walk straight past y'all. Ah, hello, Coda. The machine.
And of
Hello.
course,
Is stopped.
machine.
Of course it is. Yeah. You stopped. You stopped feeding us. It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. So, I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me, jeez. Okay, so is this Coda speaking with their own, like, creative spark? Is that kind of what's going on here? Is we're having a conversation with our own, like, burnt outness? No? Nothing? Alright, then I will apologize to the people on your behalf. What? I don't know what we owe these people. What do we owe these people? Alright. Okay, well, see ya. Hi, guys. I guess I need to make an apology for something. My followers, my friends, I guess. My friends. That's an interesting clarification. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine did not deliberately hurt us. The machine will not apologize to us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let us pay it retribution. Sure. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Because if the machine isn't doing what it needs to do, then maybe we need to find a different source to rely on. Oh. And we're back into the auditorium? Back into the auditorium, eh? Interesting. Very interesting. Oh. Why with the gun? Why with the gun? Why do I have a gun?
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Yeah, I know I can click to fire the gun. I just don't know why I have it. Why do I have the gun? Oh. Oh, interesting. Oh, very cool. Oh, that's so cool. That's sick. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay. All right, so we're dealing with a little bit of annihilation here, I guess.
So
all right. Are we having
self-destructive? And I'll tell you, at the time
perhaps
that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people to get some actual feedback on his games. It might.
That's not gonna be it. That's not how that works.
As I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Code to start actively soliciting feedback. So, what if
Of course
I
not.
for it?
My friend, you are going to make things worse.
Actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence?
Probably not.
Would it bring meaning back into his work?
That's probably not how it's gonna go, my friend. And also, did you talk to Coda about, like, whether that's what he wants? Did you ask Coda if that's what do you think would help? Like, so often friends have this thing of, like, my friend is having a bad time, and because of that, I probably know better than them.
I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning.
None of it's gonna make sense because you don't have the relational context that you do.
And trusted. I asked their opinions, and the great part is that they really loved his games. You know,
sure.
The point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
That's never been the point, my guy. That's never been the point. And I think that's what we're getting to. Okay. Here we are with the machine. Put down your weapon. Okay. What am I supposed to...
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good.
Yes.
That I am
yes.
good.
Yes.
When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And
that's
I
fair.
got to give that
is a good
feeling to my friend. I did something.
Yes.
I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem.
Right.
He told me how much they enjoyed his games. It was the best feeling. It's the absolute
best feeling for you.
It made me feel so happy.
It made you feel so happy.
Beautifully happy.
But it was never... It needs to be about making Coda happy. And you never checked in with him, from what I'm aware.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while.
Yeah.
So this is June of 2011.
Takes off how so?
And I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's.
Oh, interesting.
This one is called The Tower. And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Oh, okay.
So let's take a look.
So Coda actually stopped making games. I'm curious as to whether this tower has anything to say on the subject. Is this going to be like a confrontational
And this is where I have trouble
game?
saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than
Yeah.
anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's
Yeah.
trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
It is. I like it. Quite honestly. This is a cool vibe. I love
This
the
room
like
actually has a maze in it.
there's like it's like an Art Deco dungeon feel to it. Whoa, whoa,
Except
whoa,
that
whoa,
all the
whoa.
walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise.
Jeez.
So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be
Ow.
played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the
Oh,
level.
boy.
So when you're ready to continue, press enter.
Okay.
And I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Yeah, alright. Thank you. Interesting. And the fact that this was sent specifically
And to be fair,
to
it's not like this is the first game
the
that's needed
narrator.
some modification to be playable. Like the house
Right.
cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to
Sure.
turn it off so that
Yeah.
you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that
Right.
game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's
Yes.
the deeper idea
And-
behind the invisible maze?
Well, the other thing is that in making it no longer like infinite, you have changed
The
the,
only way
message
past
of the
this
game.
challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
Wow.
Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement.
Nope.
It doesn't ask anything
Nope.
of me except a lot of my time. If I could have
Yeah.
reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the
And I
code on
think
the ground
this-
to you here, though, so that we can move on.
I genuinely think that this is Coda, like, speaking directly to this narrator character of being like, I trusted you to just be someone that I could bounce ideas off of and just be there when I needed you and not try to do anything else, and you broke that. Which on one hand, maybe it's on Coda to, communicate that. But at the same time, like, it was never the narrator's job to try and fix things. Certainly not try to fix things without, like, honestly checking in with Coda to see if anything needed to be fixed. Right? So I feel like this is speaking directly to the narrator.
The switch to
and
open
kinda
this door is
confronting
actually
some
on the
complicated
other side
feelings.
Of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
Yeah.
So even
That's
if you
pretty
somehow
funny.
forced your way
I
through
like
the
that.
first two challenges and you got to this point,
Yeah.
there's actually just
Yeah.
no way to progress.
Right.
And it's scary for me. The idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying,
He's not.
that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Not giving me any way to fix the problem.
Because you can't fix the
feel like a
problem.
failure,
The
I
problem
guess.
is not
I can't
necessarily yours to
Fix
fix.
the problem.
Yeah.
But I can open this door for you,
Now-
so let me do that.
Okay. I feel like the narrator is
Was I a failure for
maybe
not understanding
starting.
this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I
Probably
feel
because
like
it's
I
for
failed,
you.
and I don't understand why. I remember
It's because
it's
you're
June
not
2011.
understanding your role
I'm
in this
playing for the very
relationship.
first time. And as I'm playing,
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them.
Yep, none of
I'd
them
been
line up.
trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I
Well,
was
sure.
trying to get to know him, to understand
Yeah.
who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him
Sure.
so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Yeah, I was curious about the 3 dots. Because it's not about getting a straight answer, it's just about, like, there's a fine balance between, like,
if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
There we go. I think we're...
And left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
So we're getting to a point where we're realizing that this relationship between the narrator and Coda was kind of selfishly fueled, at least on the narrator's part. The narrator was not necessarily in it to just be in relationship with another person and to interact with their art. By that, oh, dude,
I am the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
That's really hard, though. That's a bummer. That sucks. It's too bad that I have to get to that point.
But when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
As if they were your games and not his. Wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. And maybe some of them were. Maybe some of them were. You've so infected my personal space that it's...
The people who played them...
Shut up, dude.
Treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was...
Yep.
I felt
it was your
good
work.
About myself.
Yes.
Finally. For a moment,
because their relation...
I had that, I liked myself.
Yes. Because your relation, or the people that you showed these games to, their relation to this work was more as though it was your work than Coda's. You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Damn, we just saying it now. Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. Davey, you son of a bitch. You're the one trying to add some sort of through line to Coda's oeuvre. When there doesn't have to be one. Would you simply let them be what they are?
I didn't have anything left to show people.
Yeah.
I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all.
I bet not.
Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I am around you, I feel physically ill. That's harsh. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying this whole time. It's interesting hearing the narrator talk as someone that is clearly like interacting with these things not as a fellow artist, or probably not as a fellow artist, and for me to be experiencing this whole thing as an artist that goes through, you know, some similar phases. I get it. I see it. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. Absolutely. Absolutely. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are
I'm
wrestling.
afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
When you finally see what you were talking about, don't say anything interesting. It's always been about looking into a thing and accessing it from itself. Maybe? I don't know. I'm still not
That's why I'm
entirely
releasing
sold.
this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried
Oh,
everything.
jeez, Davey.
And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my
Davey,
name
no.
that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry.
No.
I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again?
God
Please,
fucking damn
I
it,
need to feel
Davey.
okay
That's
with
not the
myself.
point.
And I always
That's
felt
your
okay
problem.
as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean,
Yeah, and you gotta figure
is
that
something
out
wrong
for
with me?
yourself.
'Cause
Maybe.
I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right,
Right?
now. Like I'm
Yes.
showing people your work, but I
Yeah,
can't
it's bad.
stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I
Yes, you
need to
can.
feel something again. Like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong
Sure.
with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work?
Sure.
Will that fix it? I don't know.
It's
I don't
not
think
about
it will,
fixing
but there's
it.
nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Start making games again. Please help
Okay.
me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
That's some strong voice acting. Jeez. Hello. There we go. I didn't see the title of that one because my camera wasn't focusing. Okay, that hit. That last bit hit. Okay. I get it.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
It's not a disease, but it is something that needs to be worked on.
Solution.
Maybe it's less like, and I think this is sort of the thing, is it's less about a solution. Like he keeps talking about
I
it
guess
like
if
a
someone had told me ahead of
something
time
to
that he
be
just
fixed.
really enjoyed making prison games,
Sure.
maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
You can be like
Wouldn't have been so many
fascinated by
people
the
that he was
idea of
depressed.
something. Yeah,
Maybe
geez,
he
don't
just
just
likes
tell
making
people
prisons.
that. Yeah, maybe you just find the idea of a prison interesting without, you know, just because you like it, you find an idea interesting doesn't mean you have this deep personal, like, connection to it. You can
Even
like
now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Well, they'll probably have problems. They'll wanna. They'll probably tell you that that it's wrong, as they probably should. And the more you hear it, hopefully from people that care about you and don't put it too terribly harshly. Hopefully you can hear it from enough people whose opinions you care about that you can actually internalize
If I knew
it.
that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation. What would that even be?
What a question.
It's strange,
Jeez.
but
The thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive
Tell me
what
about
that
it.
would be like.
Yeah. That was kind of me in around 2017, 2018 with this channel. That was around the time that I had my big sort of what's the point if no one's watching kind of crisis.
What now?
You just gotta like start doing things for yourself that you enjoy.
I think I need to go.
Maybe.
And
Go where?
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but
I'll be
starting
okay.
to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I
Maybe.
have a lot that I need to make up for. And
Sure.
so I'm just gonna...
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. I'll be okay. I like this game. I like the story. It's really good. I connect very much with it. If that wasn't already obvious, I connect very strongly with all of this. It's interesting that I was so mad at Davey for his earlier thoughts, and then also, you know, just getting more mad at and madder at him for the things that he has, you know, done out of insecurity. But the source of the insecurity I can relate to. So it's a fascinating feeling to kind of realize how much I relate to him, even though I've been giving, and also have at the same time I've been giving him so much shit in this short little series, which I like. This is the same day that I'm playing the first episode, and I might just. This seems like the kind of thing that I might put into one episode. It is going to be 2 hours long, though, so I don't know. Oh, it's the engine again. Interesting. Are we going to throw ourselves into it again? And then float above everything and understand the big picture of it? Because I'll be honest, that part did seem a little concerning to me. That part, thematically, I did find a little worrying. A little bit. There were tidbits of something to that, of like, you know, romanticizing death, that I would understand why someone would be concerned by that. And once again, the glitch activates, and we float up above. Here we are. Ooh, infinite labyrinth. I like it. I like it. Wow. Pretty. Is there anything, am I supposed to move at all? No, I'm still rising. I continue to ascend towards something, I don't know what. What am I doing here? Is that it?
Turn back.
Oh, for R.
Turn back from this cave.
Amazing.
Said, let me This
project would not have been possible without the following individuals.
Keep going,
Nice.
but the cave goes for
Turn back.
miles
Written. Okay.
and miles and
Music, I'm assuming. Written by Helena Heron. Oh, is that what this is? Okay.
You're
Very
so
pretty.
tired,
Additional thanks to all these people.
but I know that
Nice. I like timing it out with the piano. That's neat. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize this would only take me 2 episodes, but that was a lovely, tight little experience. That was beautiful. That was really, really beautiful. That was a really cool and interesting, like, character-driven story to take. Damn. I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while now. That was so cool. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have a whole lot of thoughts right now. A lot of the time, like, you know, obviously I had thoughts going through it, but I think about this game as a whole, I need to, you know, process it for a little bit before I have anything worthwhile to say. So I'm just gonna say that was the beginner's guide. I'm so glad that I played it. So glad. I love metagames. I love games about art. I love art about the process of making art. I love stories about relationships with artists. I love just all those conversations and making those conversations messy and honest and, like, not shying away from when the main character does something wrong. I think those are all the thoughts I have. I really liked this, and I'm glad I played it. So, thank you so much for watching this short little series. Genuinely didn't expect this to be a 2-parter. Thought it would be at least 3 parts, but here we are. If you have your own thoughts on what we just watched and talked about, I would love to hear them or read them in the comments. If there are other games like this that you would like to see me play, let me know. Like I said, I love these kinds of games. If you haven't subscribed, maybe you want to do that now. If you want to support me on Fourth Wall, that would be hugely appreciated. You can do that through the link in the description. And yeah, be friends with people because you want to be friends with them, not because you wanted to make their work make you feel better. That's not what they're there for. I'll see you later.